and I want to extend everybody a warm welcome. When I looked out the window this morning at 5:30, I think the issue was very much in doubt, but here we are. I'm hearing some talk about maybe another storm rolling in the next couple hours, but I'm an optimist, so I hope we'll all be here outside for the graduation. Keep your fingers crossed. I want to start by introducing that great-looking Marine who marched out here with me. That's Sergeant Major James Porterfield, the senior enlisted Marine here at MCRD San Diego at this command. I'm going to address the majority of my comments this morning to the parents, the family members, the friends of the Marines of my company, 3rd Infantry Battalion. But before I do that, there's some very special people that I'd like to introduce. I'm going to start by introducing and saying some words about today's parade reviewing officer, Sergeant Major Melvin Shepard, United States Marine Corps retired. Now, in the course of the graduation, we're going to get to read Sergeant Major Shepard's bio, but I'd like to say just a couple words right now about this very special United States Marine. Sergeant Major Shepard served on active duty in the Marine Corps from 1977 to 2005. So he wore the uniform for 28 years. During the course of his career, he served across our operational and supporting establishment, ashore and afloat. And I would particularly single out the fact that he served 2 tours here at MCRD San Diego. As a Sergeant Major, as a senior enlisted leader, he was the Sergeant Major of a Marine Heavy Helicopter Squadron of Support Battalion right here at MCRD San Diego. And he did such a good job there that he ended up being the Sergeant Major of the Recruit Training Regiment, which is a very prestigious post for a Sergeant Major in our Corps. I could say a lot about what Sergeant Major Shepard has done in the 10 years since he retired, but I would, in the interest of time, just single out a couple things. At this point, the Sergeant Major is working on his dissertation to get his doctorate. I would also mention the fact that he's a member of the Montford Point Association. Some of you may not be familiar with what that is, but that's a service organization whose mission is to preserve the story and the legacy of the Montford Point Marines, who were the first African-American Marines to serve in our Corps during World War II, and they were trained in Montford Point, North Carolina. And Sergeant Major, I know we also got a passel of kids and even a grandkid, so we'll leave it at a passel without me trying to recall the exact number. But Sergeant Major, welcome back to your drill field, to MCRD San Diego. We're really honored to have you here. Semper Fi. Hoorah. Am I looking at the office family? Outstanding. So glad to have you all here. A little bit of mention as we started, but it bears repeating. This is the family of Lance Corporal Trevor Hawkins, who is the honor man for my company, and coming to us from Iowa, and very, very glad to have them. It was also pointed out, but I'll also say this great-looking Marine here in blues, that's Staff Sergeant Anthony Breeden, and he is here because he was Lance Corporal Hawkins' recruiter. Well done, Staff Sergeant. And then this sharp-looking lean Marine, looking like he stepped right out of Central Casting, sitting beside him. That's Sergeant Terrell Travers, and he was the senior drill instructor of the platoon in which Lance Corporal August went through boot camp. Semper Fi. Last but certainly not least, we've got Sergeant Stanley Santos, and he was the primary marksmanship instructor of the high shooter up there at Weapons and Field Training Battalion. Not the first time he's been down here. A wonderful looking ladies and gentlemen, also, she's trying to hide there in the back row, but I want to also make sure I I point out and introduce my bride, Beth. And I like to always say at this point in the ceremony, if you think she's going to stand up and salute me, you may be waiting for that for a long time. Hey, again, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for making the time to get up early and join us for this morning colors ceremony. As I told you yesterday, I think this short, simple event puts the graduation, which is going to occur in a couple hours, into better focus and context. What just occurred down there by the flagpole, over some of your left shoulder and behind others of you, is United States Marines took care of the colors of our country. And it was done in the same professional way that characterizes everything United States Marines do. It was done crisply, and it was done on time. Today, at bases and stations across the entire world, United States Marines are taking care of the colors of our country. They're doing it at expeditionary fighting patrol bases in Afghanistan, some of the very last of our bases there, at some new bases we've stood up in Iraq, at 150 embassies and consulates guarded by United States Marines on amphibs that cover the world's oceans. Now this morning, you know, we've made a little bit of an event out of this. The band's playing, they sound great. We've got the chairs set up. All of you folks are here with us. We've got a Marine Sergeant Major standing there in Overwatch. But I'll tell all of you that tomorrow, Saturday morning, at 08, well, I'll bet there's nobody out there watching, rain or shine, those Marines are going to be out there taking care of the colors at some standard, professional way. The Marines who raised the flag, the ones who are right here with me at this ceremony, your sons, they're the proud inheritors of all the history and tradition of our Corps. They wear the same Eagle Globe anchor on their uniform that Marines who participated in one of the most famous flag raisings in our nation's history wore. And I speak of the raising of the American flag atop Mount Suribachi on the embattled Pacific island of Iwo Jima over 70 years ago in the spring of 1945. And you know, there were others watching that day too. Mount Suribachi was the highest point on that tiny island where 6,800 Marines gave their lives. But when the flag came up to the vertical and the Pacific wind caught it and it unfurled and showed its beautiful stripes, tens of thousands of Marines who were locked in mortal combat across the island, they looked up in the sky, they saw Old Glory, and they cheered at the top of their lungs. Thousands of Navy sailors positioned on hundreds of fire support and amphibious ships 360 degrees around Iwo. They saw the flag, they raised their voices, they hit the ship's horns. Most of the Japanese soldiers didn't see the flag being raised. Those brave men were in the caves, in the bunkers, buried deep in their spider holes and trenches. But we know from the memoirs of the very few who survived that epic battle that they heard the cheering of the Marines up on the surface, and the word of mouth passed from Japanese soldier to Japanese soldier that the American flag had been raised atop Mount Suribachi. And of those very few, a couple dozen out of about 20,000 who survived the battle, they would recall in their memoirs that the information that an American flag had been raised atop Mount Suribachi had sent a message to them of inevitable American victory. And it also told them everything that they needed to know about the nature of the American fighting man that they were scrapping with. United States Marines had come to their island. Now your sons are the very newest Marines to join our Corps. But I'll tell all of you, they are worthy successors. They are every bit as much United States Marines as any of the legendary heroes of our past. They're forged from the same great American steel, and we're lucky to have them. I'll take a step back and talk for just a second about the young men and women who are joining the Corps at this point in our nation's history. Now here at MCRD San Diego, we train men, we train male Marines. But we have 14,000 female Marines in our Corps. We couldn't be more proud of them. They're trained back east in 4th Battalion at Marine Corps Recruit Depot, Paris Island. Everything I would say applies just as much to them. But the young men and women coming in the Marine Corps today, almost 100% of them are high school graduates. A number of them went to college or they are college graduates. The majority of them come from the highest tested categories, and we have vigorously screened their records to make sure they have the moral and the character, fiber, and background to be United States Marines. I'll make the case to all of you that they are truly special. On top of the fact that less than 1% of all Americans ever make the choice to serve our country in uniform, the young men and women who are joining the Marine Corps at this point in our nation's history, they're truly special because they made that decision when they could have done anything they wanted to do with their young lives. They made the decision to join the Marine Corps when our country is at war. And we don't have any doubt in the United States Marine Corps that we are very much still at war. But the young men and women who joined the Marine Corps today, what they chose to do is answer the call to those colors when our country needs them the most, and they're patriots. Just to hit something again that I mentioned yesterday, I introduced my wife Beth. We got a big Bierman family. And I'll tell you, it really puts both of us in a position to truly appreciate all of you and the love and the mentoring and the sacrifice and the effort that you've put into your Marine. And I want to make sure that you understand that this is not just his day, this is your day as well. So congratulations and thank you for everything you've done. As I wrap up, what I want to do is I want to take just a second to introduce some of the Marines that are participating in this ceremony with me. They're carefully chosen, and each one of them represents a larger formation that had a hand in the training and the transformation of your Marine during his time at MCRD San Diego. Over here to my left, the rightmost formation as you're seeing them, those are Marine recruiters from the 12th Marine Corps Recruiting District, wearing those iconic blue trousers. But they represent the Marines of the Western Recruiting Region, positioned in over 750 locations west of the Mississippi River. And their job is to find young men and women with the mental, moral, physical, and academic qualifications to be Marines. They tell our story across kitchen tables across this great country of ours. And I promise you, they're very, very good at what they do. I know in some cases I'm preaching to the choir a little bit, because you know that your Marine has had a relationship with his recruiter that goes back often for years. In the center formation, we have representatives of 3 different groups, 2 units, and we've got that great-looking United States Navy sailor. He's there on purpose. He didn't just sneak into the formation and nobody was looking, and we're proud to have him. But in the front rank, those are Marines from Weapons and Field Training Battalion. Weapons and Field Training Battalion is located up the road at Camp Pendleton, part of this command. Those are the Marines that have responsibility for supervising all the field work the recruits do, the crucible, and in particular, they teach the recruits how to shoot, how to engage with their primary weapon system, the M16A4. We're very proud in the Marine Corps, regardless of what MOS a Marine may go into, male or female, we teach them first and foremost how to be a rifleman. So every Marine knows how to fight before we teach them how to do anything else. And that's a core way of doing business that has stood the Marine Corps in very, very well throughout the course of our combat history. In the second rank, you've had a chance now to be on the depot for a little while. You've seen the drill instructors, but those are drill instructors in those great-looking green campaign covers from the recruit training regiment, and they're the heart and soul of the transformation that occurs right here at MCRD San Diego. I couldn't be more proud of them. And then finally, we've got that great-looking sailor from the United States Navy. He's there. He's representative of the relationship that the Marine Corps has with the United States Navy that goes back to the birth of both services in 1775. We serve shoulder to shoulder around the entire world with our brothers and sisters in the Navy, and we could not do what we do operationally without the greatest Navy in the world, and I'm very proud that he's there representing our Navy. And then continuing, the Marines in that final formation are from headquarters and service battalion, and they're kind of the atlas of everything else that goes on here at this depot. They hold everything else up. They provide the administration and logistics support to the recruiting and the recruit training effort. They maintain this beautiful base, and they're a very proud group of Marines. You've already heard our band, and I am just so proud of our MCRD San Diego band. This is a very busy time of year for them. We just had our winter concert last weekend, and if you pay attention, you probably saw them yesterday afternoon. They're marching to and fro all over the base, getting ready to be a part of the Tournament of Roses parade up there on New Year's Day. But great job, man. And then finally, ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You'll get more chance to see them and admire them in action at the graduation. And finally, dead center, we have our MCRD San Diego Color Guard, led this morning by Color Sergeant Cameron Castaneda, who has the honor of holding and presenting the national flag. But for United States Marine to be entrusted with the care of the organizational and national colors, that's a true honor. That's above and beyond even the special relationship that every Marine has with his or her personal weapon. Ladies and gentlemen, in closing, what I wish I could do right now, because I think it would be a really nice, comfortable, safe way to end my comments. And if I said it, I know the moms would love to hear it. I wish what I could do at this point is look you all in the eye and tell you that your sons are going to leave MCRD San Diego. They're going to head out into the operational forces of the United States Marine Corps, and they're always going to be safe. But I can't do that, ladies and gentlemen, and I won't do it. Your sons are American warriors. As I watch the sun, I don't see the slums of the nation. This world of ours is getting any nicer or more civil. Your sons are being specifically and deliberately trained and prepared by the United States Marine Corps and the nation to go into harm's way. And if necessary, they will not hesitate to risk life and limb in defense of the Marine to their left or to their right, and in defense of our way of life and the values of our Constitution represented by that beautiful flag. What I can tell you, and it's significant, I can tell you that your Marine is always going to be well led, he's going to be well trained, and we're never going to ask him to do anything unless there is not another Marine to his left, to his right, or overhead. And the last thing I'll say with the utmost passion and conviction is whatever else your Marine goes on to do with his life, inside the Corps, outside the Corps, whether he spends 4 years or 40 years in the Marine Corps, he will always have a burning, passionate pride at having earned the title of United States Marine. It's great to see all of you this morning. I hope we see you outside here for the graduation. Either way, it's going to be a great graduation. happy holidays early on to you. Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. God bless all of you, and Semper Fi.